Hello, hello, and welcome back to Password. It's been a while, hasn't it? Uh, I'm really excited. New build, new content. Also, there's new menu artwork. What? I hope there is one for everyone. This is just the one that came up first, which is Hossy Boy, which is good. He still's got that knife. And Dave looks cute. It's good. It's good. Where... There we go. So, it's been a while since I've played Tyson's route, hasn't it? Yes. Yes, indeed. Anyway, we're gonna... we're gonna just go, right? Oh, it's so exciting. Oh man, do I even remember the voices that I used for half these characters? It's been so long. But I get to hang out with Tyson, so it's fine. The bestest boy, the goodest boy, the blessed boy, My head hurt. I can't tell how or why it was hurting, but it was, all the while I slept. It was cold, with something fluffy wrapped around my shoulders. High above the sun was warm, bright, and... Okay. In a colorless sky, the sounds of splashing coming from nearby. What's going on? Dean's telltale chuckle from behind me, followed by his arms around my middle, explained the softness I was leaning against. Okay. Finally awake? Where are we? Hey everyone, he's awake! Okay. Huh? Awake? You had us worried. Oh, I knew. I knew letting you jump in like that was a bad idea. What's going on? I didn't understand. I was confused as to where we were, why we were here, but what I did know, that my head was hurting bad. Okay. Dave? Then, it was all gone in an instant. I was floating again in the darkness, and eventually something else surfaced. Whoa. Okay. Good, two good boys are here. Actually, three good boys are here. I do like Sal. That's fine. Yes. You can't stack those. It's bullshit. Are you sure? Dude, calm down. It's not even you drawing the cards. It's Dave. I could feel my headache, my heart rate? Yes. Took 3 times we got there, rising quickly, the confusion only getting worse. These were just dreams, right? But they felt different somehow. The feeling in my head, no better either. But then it was gone. Everything came back in focus, and I was right where I went to bed the night before. No headache, a heart still racing, but things felt real again. I was still on my side with Tyson right up behind me, holding me tight. My mind flashed back to the night before, reminded by the fact that we were naked and what we'd done. Not that I hated it, quite the opposite. But laying here with him sleeping, I had my worries. Maybe we crossed that line too quickly. Maybe things won't work out, and we just ruined what we had. Placing my hand softly on his, I leaned back against him, listening as he breathed. It was level, relaxed, and I closed my eyes to try and get some more sleep. Hey, you awake? Yeah, was probably going to get up soon, though. He growled playfully. next to my ear. Okay. The arm around my chest tightened a little. Not gonna let you, Wait. Not gonna let me at you again. Maybe later, Ty. I'm not feeling it. He was shocked with the answer and pulled back. I took the opportunity to sit up and then put on some pants. I needed to clear my head and left the room soon after. I was barely dressed, but I needed to get away from him just for a second. I loved him, in the best of ways, but part of me was scared of that fact. Not that I had anything to compare against, but the sex was great too. Hey! Dave, what's wrong? He stopped me on the stairs, a hand on my shoulder. What's gotten into you? His scent was still all over me, seeping into my fur from the night before. It was a strange mix between comforting and worrying, and I turned to him, my eyes sunken and not knowing where to look. Last night wasn't a mistake, was it? What? Like, did we cross that line too quickly? Should we have talked more about what happened and... what's there to talk about? Ty, you know I love you, right? Yeah. And you're sure you love me, right? Yeah. What? You're doubting that now? It's not that. I'm worried, right? Worried that I'm getting my wires crossed is all. Worried that I'm enjoying something for the wrong reasons, and that something is going to dawn on me one day, and I'm just... Gesturing loosely in the air, I sat down on the stairs. Moments later, Tyson was next to me, with his hands loosely on my lap. What's wrong about it? When I tried to save you the first time, you punched me in the nose, and when I begged you not to go, you wanted me to have sex with you. I saw him looking around quickly in a panic, but he didn't say anything, so I continued. When it was happening, I was so focused on doing anything to keep you alive and safe, so focused that at the time I didn't really register what was happening, and now that we've done it, what if I just let you call the shots like that? I don't understand. I thought that... Didn't we... It was a really bad thing, Ty. So I'm just worried that now we're together that things like that might just happen again. Not even on purpose, but I'm worried that I'm putting too much trust in you. Maybe. Just a little. Well, that hurts. I'm sorry, but I can't just ignore something like that, Ty. So that's it. You want out? No, Ty, I don't want out. I just want some reassurance that I'm not going to be raped for trying to do right by you. That you're going to hit me just because you're in a bad mood, or anything else terrible. You can't do that anymore. I wouldn't. But it doesn't change the fact that you did. That scares me. He shuffled around, snatching my hand without holding them. Wait. Snatching my hand and holding them in his. Okay. I get that I'm new to this, but all that shit was, because I was too much of a wimp to admit I loved you that much. It's not an excuse, I know, but Ty, if you love me that much, why would you want to push me away, or even resort to something so horrible? I don't know. I'm messed up in the head, I guess. Oh. If there's anything I can do. You know, to prove it won't happen again. Ty, I don't know. Everything's going so fast in my head right now. He reached out and cupped my cheeks lightly, rubbing his thumb against it carefully. Help me understand, please. You love me, right? Of course I do. And it's not just because because we have sex. Look, that part's fucking amazing. Especially after not getting to do it after so long, yeah. But that's not the reason I love you, alright? Then what? Shit, where do I start? I'm not good with this gay stuff. Try, for me. I like how you look out for me. I want to do the same for you. I don't know if when it happens, but At some point, I couldn't stop thinking about ways to make you smile, just so I could see it again. His ears drooped slightly, and he shook his head. It sounds gay as hell, but that's just what I feel. I don't want to do bad things. I'm sure I'll fuck up at some point, but now that I have you, I'm scared to give you a reason to leave. Just promise me, Ty. If anything that bad comes up again, before you do anything else, we talk about it. Even if it's going to upset me, even if it's going to upset you, we have to talk to one another. Okay. Ty, promise. I promise. Okay. Want to head back to bed? Yeah, sure. We headed back to the bed and cuddled. I nestled in under his chin, and he had his arms around me and just rubbing my back. I don't know at what point I dozed off again, but I felt somewhat relieved, though the dreams I had still bothered me. When I woke up again, I felt rested, and Tyson was once again cuddling me from behind. I could tell he was awake, though, and once more I placed my hand on his. Hey. Morning. How are you feeling? Fine, I guess. Okay, cool. His tone said it all, and I wove my fingers between his, leaning back. Boyfriend? His tail started wagging, the steady thump of it under the blanket cueing me into his mood immediately. So it wasn't a dream. It's real. Yep, it's real. He leaned over and kissed me on the cheek before sitting up in the bed, with me following suit. It's kind of strange, huh? It's weird, yeah, but I like it. Is there anything you wanted to do today? Well, if you're offering. You're as bad as Dean now that you've been enabled. Am not. If you're good, then maybe tonight. We'll see. Fine. Then I don't know. I'm fine with whatever. You wanted to talk to everyone else, though, right? Yeah, I feel like the next few days might be rough, but end of the day, I've got you, right? Fuck yeah, you do. After we lay in bed for a bit longer, we got dressed and headed downstairs. Not before a much-needed shower, given how we fell asleep the night before, though. We made it to where we had talked earlier, before Ty took my hand in his and laced his fingers between mine. He didn't look at me as he did it, keeping his gaze forward as we headed into the dining room. It didn't take long for everyone to arrive, each of us taking a seat at the table, with Orlando heading into the kitchen once everyone was accounted for. At some point, coffee was put in front of me, and I downed it quickly, almost burning my throat, but it did wonders in waking me up. I looked across to who I spent the night with and flashed him a smile, and he flashed me one back. Okay. Although he made no effort to hide what had happened, leaning over and rubbing my shoulder with his mouthful of coffee. Oswin wandered in with Benson at some point, not saying anything to us, and continued on to the kitchen, looking just as tired as I felt. Hey, everyone! The table went quiet when I spoke up. I wasn't expecting it to happen so quickly, but I stood up, cradling my coffee cup in both hands. I just want to say that, there wasn't a good way to start this conversation, but I at least waited until people had eaten something. I'd eaten already, and having something in my stomach made me feel less anxious, but the weight of what I wanted to talk about was still there. No, never mind. I sat back down sheepishly, looking down into my coffee, but a few moments of looking back at my face in the black liquid, I frowned and stood back up again. No, I have to say something. Dude, just say it already. I'm getting to it. I breathed in deep and looked at each of my friends in turn, setting down my mug. I'm sorry to bring this up over breakfast, but 2 days ago I got the vault to work again. There was nothing but silence to greet my declaration. My eyes went to the table, uncertain of how to proceed, but I figured not saying anything was worse than just trying. 2 days ago, I was told that there was a password, so I spent the day trying to solve it. Everyone everyone seemed to look at one another confused, but still didn't say anything. I rubbed my head, unsure of how to explain this without sounding crazy. Werewolf. The password was werewolf. And what I saw was Orlando dead and Tyson covered in blood. There was a thing in Tyson's room that was going to set him off, making a high-pitched sound or whatever. The tension at the table increased, and I looked around again to see if anyone wanted to speak aside from me. For the most part, it seemed as though some people weren't convinced I was serious, and others just didn't know what to say. So, the thing is, I didn't say anything because I wanted to try and fix it myself, but also because I didn't want the person behind it knowing, in case they tried to mix it up on us.
Dave, I think you could have phrased that better. A lot of it, really.
I frowned, worried that my explanation wasn't clear enough, but it seemed clear that Roswell was willing to ask anyway.
For the clarity at the table, are you implying that it was someone here that set that up?
Well, no, but maybe. I mean, it's possible, right? It was probably you little lying sack of shit.
Dave, just spit it out. We need the rest, yeah. Dave?
Yeah?
How do you know that it's one of us?
I snatched up my coffee again and downed it for confidence, and then openly declared that what I knew to the table. So someone's been controlling a robotic rat. Oh, so we're talking about it. And that rat was setting off a loud noise underneath Ty's bed, and that was making him go crazy, and he was going to break last night. But I found the rat and talked to him, and we figured it out. The silence stretched out longer than I would have liked, but with how talkative people were before, I started talking. I started to chuckle. Before I started talking, okay. I'm getting it. Guys, it's okay. Oh, with my nerves getting the best of me.
The rat?
Eyes were on Dean as he stood up slowly, nodding at me.
The rat. You know, the one we found in the kitchen.
Thanatos.
Ah, the god of death.
No, the rat. You know, the one that Dave was with in the kitchen. Wait, is that its name? Who would name a rat after something like that? But it's not a rat, is it? Dave just said it was robotic.
I nodded quickly. Yeah, he speaks with a little collar around his neck. He's, I wouldn't say nice, but,
No.
I mean, he's kind of a jerk.
That's putting it lightly.
Oh no, what voice did I use for Osmond? Oh, it's been too long. The last time I read Password was Route B. Everyone's attention went over to the door, leading into the kitchen where Oswin was standing, coffee in hand.
Thanatos is a little gremlin, if I'm being honest.
He made his way over to the table and stopped next to me before drinking from his mug and giving me a look. He's not too bad, but he's not exactly helpful.
You're not going to tell them the important part.
Oh, right, he's, also the Vault. Confused looks were shared around the table again while Oswin sighed.
Would this be easier for me to go get him?
It might be better to hear it from his mouth. I already feel like I'm crazy.
Not a problem. The secret's out now anyway.
Oi, I'm already here.
Everyone had heard it. They were looking around the room for where the unfamiliar voice had come from, but I caught him scrambling up to the table closest to the kitchen. He stood up plainly in the middle of the table for everyone to see. Orlando seemed uncomfortable seeing the rat again. Everyone else was a mix between confused and intrigued. Hey, Thanatos.
I heard you were talking about me.
Yeah, I was. He shook his head and looked around at at everyone at the table.
Well, go on. I'm sure you all have questions now that Junior here has opened his mouth.
So the other day in the kitchen.
Yeah, real classy putting me under that metal thing. I didn't even have the decency to ask.
And then at the table before breakfast, you could have said something.
Just getting a read on you, wasn't I? And didn't even get a chance to get a word out before you started touching me all over.
Orlando shot Dean a sour look, but then turned to Thanatos, drumming his fingers on the table.
We're not all hallucinating, right? You're actually talking, and you're just a robot.
Just a robot is underselling it.
He's the Volt. AI behind it, or something. I don't know why he's a rat, though.
I'll have you know that I'm a rat because I need to be one.
I look over to Oswin, but he just raises his eyebrow mid-gulp of his coffee, seeming a mix between amused and intrigued by the answer.
Well, I'm sorry I was so rough the other day. Not every day you meet a rat that behaves like you two.
Nah, you're right. I heard you were good with your hands, unlike a certain someone, and wanted to check.
Why is it you're looking at me when you say that?
Hardly got the thing working. That thing working Benny Boy wanted you to fix, eh?
Why not just give it to me? I can get a car working. Can't be too hard.
You can do robotics, finer electronic stuff.
No.
Then that's why. In it?
Wait. In it? In it, okay. Like, in it? Like, okay. I think I understand. I'm just confusing myself. It's okay, guys.
Phylon Dean said he had a history, so that's why I went to him.
So, excuse me, Mr. Rat.
What?
Sorry, do you rather just Thanatos?
Or what about something more befitting? A divine name? Listen, you stop that. Thanatos is fine.
Alright, Thanatos. I had a question.
What?
What did you mean by a file?
Oh, that's easy to answer. Got a file on each of you. Just had to go look them up. Look at them. Files? What sort of files? A combination of my own notes and publicly available records.
Okay. I think I'll stop this part here. Yeah. We'll continue this conversation later. I'll see you around, everyone.